Well, we got a project for the day. My truck has a little clunking noise, or has had for a couple weeks now. I kind of noticed it a couple weeks ago, I guess. Figured I knew what it was. Went and got the oil change on it yesterday and had the mechanic look at it, and yeah, he confirmed the carrier bearing on my drive shaft is going out. The bearing's not going out, but the rubber mounting around it it's kind of falling apart. It's probably the original one for the truck. So it's 97, 2001, 24 years old. Not bad for the lifespan of a carrier bearing, but I need to put a new one in, and I'm not a mechanic. Just gonna go ahead and give it a shot. I have seen a couple YouTube videos, and these guys make it look like it's super easy. Pull the drive shaft out, take it apart. One guy used a torch to cut it off. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I don't wanna cut my drive shaft or torch my drive shaft. So I'm gonna get in there and see how hard this is for somebody who's never done a carrier bearing before. Hopefully it goes back together. Hang out for a little while, guys. Let's crawl under here and I'll show you what I'm looking at. This is, hopefully you can see that. This is your carrier bearing for a two-piece drive shaft. And mine, the rubber is kind of shot. So that's the piece we're replacing, hopefully. First thing first, we'll grab some good old WD-40. We'll spray down the bolts. These two right here, and the 4 for this drive shaft piece right here. To take that drive line loose, it's going to be a lot easier to put the transmission in neutral so we can turn the drive shaft to get all 4 of those bolts up front. But before you do that, you want to put some tire chocks in, make sure your truck doesn't roll, and also set your e-brake. So I've got both those things done. I got to find the right size wrench to take those bolts loose, along with the 2 bolts for that carrier bearing. And then we should be, I got to cut the little straps for that little rubber boot in the back that connects to the second drive shaft. It keeps the dust out. Cut the straps, 2 bolts for the carrier bearing, and 4 bolts for the drive shaft. And we should be able to get that out and be able to work on it out here. I thought there'd be enough slack in the drive shaft for these 2 pieces to separate so that I could rotate this drive shaft because my transmission's in neutral. And even though my transmission's in neutral, I can't rotate this drive shaft to get to all 4 of those bolts up there because my back tires are on the ground. If this would come apart, then it would separate my transmission from my rear end, and my tires being on the ground wouldn't matter. But since not, I'm gonna go up those 4 bolts up there and see what I can do. Get those out and let this thing hang here for a minute. Well, that's a 12 millimeter, 12-point bolt. I'm gonna try and get this off of here. If I can remember how to hook a wrench up together. There we go. Come on. One of the videos I watched on YouTube on how to do this, one of these splines was bigger than the others, so this could only go together one way. I don't see a bigger spline on my axle, so I'm going to make a mark right here. I'm going to go up in here and make a mark. So I can make sure and put that back together the same way it came apart. Now this drive shaft does say that it's an assembly balanced drive shaft, and I wasn't sure. I couldn't find a wider spline here that would make it go back together one way until I cleaned some of the grease off, and I see this little, it's like an insert pin of some sort, and I'm betting that there's a special slot that this fits in on the other end. We can go check that out here in a second. Might be kind of hard to see. Wipe the grease off these splines. You can see that notch right there. It's a wider notch. That's where that's going to go. So I can't put it together the wrong way, but I am glad that I marked it just in case. So the fun part is finding out how all this comes apart. So I probably got to take the strap off here. This is going to hold this metal ring on to the rubber boot, or the rubber part of it. This rubber boot's going to have to come off. That feels like it's going to be a fun one to put back on. I think what we need to do is get this thing out of my way. Got a little bit more clearance here to work. So we'll finish ripping all these out. One piece. I'm going to razor blade in here and see if we can cut through some of this rubber. There we go. Now we're down to the bearing. Well, that is very unfortunate. I got a little carried away with the grinder and went a little bit too far with that cutoff wheel. I've got a little mark in my driveline now, which I really didn't want. I hope it doesn't affect the balance. I don't know how finicky these are with balance. I know that they're balanced very, very well because they spin at a high rate of speed and you don't want them coming loose. The bonus to this is it's right at the carrier bearing. It's not out in the middle of the driveline. So the carrier bearing is going to support that. It might go out faster with this next carrier bearing if it's out of balance, but I don't know if that's going to affect the balance or not. All I was trying to do is put a cut in this bearing reese, probably 2/3 the way through, and then you take a chisel, which I already put back away, but you put a chisel right in that groove and pop it with a hammer, and the rest of the metal will break. It doesn't have to be cut all the way through. It's brittle metal. It's very, very hardened steel. So you can break it fairly easily with a chisel if you cut it about 2/3 the way through. Unfortunately, I went too far, so we will get this new carrier bearing put on there and take it out for a drive and see what happens. You're getting luckier than that. It's a pipe that's just the right size. That's that. So I took it for a test drive, actually went all the way into town. I had to return the one carrier bearing that was wrong. When I bought the carrier bearing, they didn't know which size drive shaft I had. And the only way to really find out is to take the drive shaft out, like when you're replacing the carrier bearing, and measure it. So I bought them both, I put the correct one in, I took the smaller one back that didn't fit, and got my money back. But I don't notice any new vibrations, we'll put it that way. It is a 97 truck. It's going to have little vibrations and squeaks here and there, so nothing new that I noticed. I'm a body man by trade, not a mechanic. I can do mechanical stuff, as you can see, but I probably do it the wrong way. So if you're looking at this video as a how-to, it's probably not a good idea, but it'll give you a basic idea. It took me about 2.5 hours to do it this way. I went through a couple different trial and error processes to get this bearing out of there. Getting the rubber part off of it and the one seal, the top seal off, that was pretty easy. But the bearing was pressed on there pretty good. So it took me a little bit, but like I said, the whole process took about 2.5 hours. Nothing major, no major tools. You could, instead of, if you don't have an angle grinder like I have, you could use a Dremel and cut that reese. Actually, it probably would be easier to use a Dremel because you'd be able to see a little bit more what you're doing. It's a little bit smaller tool and you can fine tune it a little bit better. But man, I really wish I wouldn't have put that mark in there. Oh well, nothing I can do about it but replace the drive shaft, and that's not going to happen right now. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can support the channel for free simply by watching another one of our videos or by clicking on that Amazon affiliate link in the description. It'll take you straight to Amazon. You do your shopping. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it gets us a slim fraction for being the ones to send you there. Remember, if I can do it, you can do it. Until next time, go make something.